Welcome back to the last lecture video of this chapter, validation. Let's take a look at this basic example right here. I've modified it just slightly based on our previous examples because in this case I wanted to make sure we had multiple items to work with. Why? Because once we get into validation, you'll see how things can break down and be, well, a little easy to debug, but it also depends on what you're putting in. So the first things first, you want to make sure that you're working with the validator service. The validation service that we put into brackets is good, but you should not rely on it solely. With the markup validation service provided by the W3C, this gives you a better understanding about how things can be run and how things should work as far as your code. Once you go to validator.w3.org, not w3c.org, just w3.org, you should see a page just like this. Well, the first thing you want to do is go to File Upload, because you have a file, you want to upload it, and your file is not on the internet yet. So click on File Upload. It should take you to a page that looks kind of like this. Once you select your file and click Check, hopefully you have a page that has this big green box that says Document Checking Completed, no errors or warnings to show. This means that your file is valid and therefore can be turned in for a grade. Also, if you're going to be using the validation service in the professional environment, you want to make sure that any items you have are valid, so that way any other developer that comes along knows that the code they're working with is good code and not just some broken piece of trash that they're trying to figure out. So based on this allows us to have a grade and allows you to have confidence that the code you're passing off is good code. If, for example, you have an error in your code, then it's going to tell you, hopefully, what and where this error is. Using our pairing example from before, closing with the H2 tag, you see this error says in tag H2 seen, but there were open elements. In this case, the H1 element that we know was open, from line 10, column 20 to line 10, column 24. It tells you exactly where the error is, and so therefore you can go through and check it and fix it. Once you re-upload it, get the green box, you have valid code. If your page comes up like this also means that, well, it doesn't exactly know what to do, because in this case I took out the exclamation point in the doc type and it didn't know what to do with this. So in this case it has a big red markup box that says cannot check this document. So with this, if you're having this issue, you want to make sure to go back, double check, see what you're doing, see if there are any issues that just stick out and fix those. In this case, once we fix that, we have a nice green box. If you have an error like this, solved triangle brackets, probable causes, unescaped, etc., and you have no idea what it means because you're not as experienced in this as I am, then you may be able to send this to me and I'll help you through trying to decode the error itself. Sometimes the validator gives us weird codes that we don't know what's going on, so in this case, please contact me. I'll help you walk through it, and hopefully we can figure out an answer together. So again, if you have this error, contact me, we'll fix it, upload it, green box, we're good to go. And that is the end of chapter 2. Hopefully you're going through and watching the live coding videos. If not, I highly recommend looking at those, so therefore you can get a better hands-on experience about the different code in action. Otherwise, please let me know if you have questions. I'll get back to you the best I can, and let's move on to chapter 3.